Yo, what's going on? Another episode of Real Conversations Podcast presented to you by Real Conversations Podcast Network. Today we got the special guest, Nakia Franklin, and she will be talking about a whole lot of things from her upbringing, things in her life that made her choose her current career path, and also becoming the founder and creator of Brave Manifestations, which is a company that helps single women, single business women, and help them pursue their dreams and, you know, manifest their own realities. So, without further ado, we want to welcome Miss Nakia Franklin. Give it up. Round of applause. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, okay.
My bad. I apologize. My mic was muted. I'm sounding a little bit raspy, but hello. Thank you for having me this evening. I am so excited to be here.
All right. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm so excited to have you on. It took a little minute, but we got it right. So we just want to break it down and just start from the beginning for people that might not know you or not familiar with what you do and what you represent. Can you give them a breakdown of where you from, your upbringing, and a regular day in your household?
Oh, wow. Thanks for the question. So, I am originally from Lamarck, Texas, LU, the Lamarck Cougars. And I also went to Lamar University. So, that's the other LU. But I am a single mother. My name is Nakia Franklin. I have a amazing son, Kamani. He is 19 years old. We live in Fresno. We live in Texas. So I went to Lamarck High School, graduated in 94, went off to college. And 3 days after I graduated high school, I started college. And I went to College of the Mainland. From there, went to Lamar University, graduated from Lamar in 3 years. And with my undergrad in criminal justice and political science. And from there, went off and became a mom, worked for TDCJ, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, as a parole officer and then a hearing officer for the Board of Pardons and Paroles here in Texas. So I've been a corrections officer as well, and a sheriff. So from there, got my master's degree at Texas A&M.
Okay, hold on. Before you continue on, what made you want to get into the parole?
Oh,
Just the whole correctional system. Like, was that a goal of yours, or did it just play out like that?
Actually, it was something that was encouraged by my family for me to do that because I was extremely good with people, all walks of life of people. And I was a junior police explorer at 12 years old, working for the Lamarck Police Department with the junior police program. And then was just my mom basically continued to encourage me to stay within the criminal justice area, right? Um, Tried to get multiple police departments tried to recruit me. My focus was going off to school, getting a degree, and being able to come back home if anything happened to my mom to take care of my siblings. And so I developed a passion, kind of guided into being developed into having that passion of working with people and working with law enforcement. And I was pretty good at my job, but
Okay, okay. And I don't know if we caught this, but you said how old you was when you had your child?
I was 31 when I had him.
Okay, okay, okay. So when you had your child, how did things change for you? Like, did you feel like you had to, work harder to give him a good life, or how was things like starting off when you had your child?
Well, I was already in a long-term career with parole. And when I discovered that I was pregnant, I was 30 at the time and had him at 31. I was making pretty good money. I knew how to save. I knew how to, plan and prepare, pay bills, be responsible and independent.
Hmm.
Not knowing that I was going to end up being a single mom, fully responsible for my child with no support from his dad. It was very critical for me at that point to understand and recognize that I made the decision to lay down
Hmm.
and I got up with more than what I, expected, right? So it was my responsibility to fulfill that parental duty and obligation as a mom. It wasn't anybody else's, not my dad, not my sister, not my aunt, uncles. It's my responsibility. So when you making grown folk decisions, you got to take care of grown folks' responsibilities.
Right.
So that's what I did. And I didn't, I was sad at first. I was hurt. I was broken. I was distraught because the person that I thought I knew showed me something different. And I wouldn't have ever imagined being a single mom. That was not a goal, a plan, a vision. That was not something that I grew up thinking that I was going to do as a little girl. None of that, right? Unfortunately and fortunately, life happened and God took me in a different direction, right? So all I can do was pray and ask for guidance. You got to ask for forgiveness. However, ask for guidance and strength and favor. And so God guided me. And no matter what ever came about, what challenges, what difficulties, what I didn't understand, God equipped me. And then He had a small community around me that encouraged me for me to keep my head up. But I also had someone in the church that I went to for years, that came to me very harshly and was like, you sinned. You're a sinner. You're not supposed to have sex while you're not married. You shouldn't be having a kid out of wedlock. You're a sinner. You know, you're wrong, and God does not like that. And He's going to, chastise you and all of the stuff, right? And for a first time mom, a first time parent, a soon to be parent, and I had literally just found out that I was pregnant, that ripped me to shreds. How do you come back from that? How do you heal from that? Right? How do you forgive somebody for that?
Hmm.
Because that was not a goal, that was not a plan. And I had absolutely no regrets, none, because I was a workaholic. And I knew at the end of the day, had it not been for God allowing me to get pregnant in the season in which I did, I wouldn't have ever had a child because I was a workaholic. I was always on the move. I was, doing all the things and involved in everything. And I wouldn't have never settled down or gotten still long enough to be blessed in such a capacity. Even with whatever experiences and challenges that I may have as a parent, there is absolutely no regrets. Would I do it again in order to have the child that I have today? Yes. Because I don't believe that I could have received this kid in any other way other than by way of his father and I.
That's real deep. That's real deep. Okay, so let's speed it up a little bit. After, uh, I guess your career in the parole and correctional system, what made you branch out and become a CEO and founder of Brave Manifestations, but as well as like all the things you said you had to go up against, like, did you want to fill in that void for the next young lady your age that might go through that, or was it just your purpose, just your divine purpose overall? Like, how did you ease your way into the person you are today? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Okay. No, I totally get it. So how did I go from being a single mom with no support, guidance, or community or tribe to really encourage me and empower me through the process to wanting to be the stand and that person for so many other women?
Mm-hmm.
So it was not a plan of mine. I
Okay.
had first created at the appointed time, which is a reentry program and service to help ex offenders re-enter the community and help their families and support them, help them with their parole hearings, all of that. So that was my initial goal, desire, vision, or purpose, what I thought I was supposed to be doing, right? And I believe that God put me on that path to teach me some things. And in the process, um, throughout the years, I experienced some stuff, and then I never had a support system in the sense of saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm a single mom, like for real, for real." I still to this day sometimes reflect on that, and it's like, but moms need a break too. And it's not saying breaking from being a mother. It's saying sometimes I need to step back and take a breath. I need to step out of my constant environment, right? And have a moment to where I can reflect on what's important to me. Having a way of, because being a mom, it doesn't stop. And a single mom, it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. You at every function, every practice, every activity, everything, every sickness, everything. You don't stop. And when we commit ourselves, because I said I'm responsible, he's my responsibility. If I went to when I went back off to college, my son was with me. If my son couldn't participate or be in a space of the room, I was not going to participate. I wasn't going to be there. And that meant I had to make certain sacrifices to not be a part of that, right? And people people have the tendency of believing that as a single mother, oh, she got it all under control. She don't need for nothing. She don't need encouragement. She don't need somebody to say, "Attaboy, good job, pat you on your back. I see you pushing, sis. I see that you got this. It might be hard. You might have a challenging day. You might be broken. You might feel like you want to cry and shut down. You might go through depression. You can go through all types of experiences emotionally, mentally, physically, but you don't stop being that mother. And then you forget all the things that you wanted to do in life. You lose where you had plans and visions and purpose, the things that you wanted to do and you saw yourself doing when you were growing up. You sacrifice all of that because you choose to be that parent for that child, to make a difference for them in their life, because they didn't ask to be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were chosen to be here. And I was chosen to be his mom. So fast forward, God put this unction in me, because the same things that I need, the same things that I want, the same things that I feel, there are other women out there in the world who look like me, who want the same doggone thing. And there's not a community that is looking out for women like me. There are plenty communities that are Hispanic, that are white, that are other nationalities and races, that have tribes and communities and groups to where there's resources and tools available for them already put in place because society prepared for them, right?
Right.
But for us Black women, we are looked at as though we're supposed to be able to handle anything, the world on top of our shoulders, and we better not open our mouth or put our head down or cry, whine, or sneeze. And if you do, that's too bad. Shame on you. So I'm not here to help a woman raise her child because she got that. And there are plenty of groups and communities and organizations that are there to help support women in rearing their children and understanding what it's like, sisterhoods for that. But my focus is on the individual woman who has forgotten herself, who has sacrificed all that she wanted, all that she knew herself to be, to make sure that she did what she needed to do for her child or children. A woman like me who looks like me, right? Because a white woman can't relate to what I'm going through. A Mexican woman can't relate to what I'm going through. Chinese woman, Hispanic, they cannot experience and understand what women of African American descent, Black women, are going through. The challenges, our thoughts, our feelings, our concerns, the considerations, the sacrifices. Nobody understands that like we do. And so I'm here to empower them. I'm here to advocate for them. I'm here to, be in a community to engage with them, to let them know that, baby, you are perfect, flaws and all. You sacrifice, we busting our butt, we working jobs, we still taking care of our kids. We got a house, apartment, whatever you live in, whatever you driving, however you getting around, even if it's on the bus. But you doing what you got to do to take care of your kids. Now I need you to do what you need to do to take care of you. And if it's simply hearing a kind voice that will make a difference for a woman, then let me be that kind voice. If it is simply saying, hey, sis, let me check in on you, or what is your goal? What is it that you want to accomplish in life? What did you dream about when you was a little girl? And is that something that still has a fire inside of you that wakes you up in the middle of the night? Let's talk about it. Let's create a plan, a strategy. Let me work with you so we can create a partnership or a collaboration, or I can mentor you, or you can hire me to coach you, whatever that looks like. But we have to have that conversation. And it's a lot of proud Black women walking around the face of this earth, like me, that won't say, hey, sis, you know what? I need your services, because the services are needed. But we have this stigma attached to us that says, Black woman, you bet not let nobody see you weak.
For sure. Yeah, that's true. I can just speak on that being a black man. You know how that goes. So
Yeah,
I can only imagine, your story, where you come from, and all the obstacles that you was faced with, over the years.
yeah.
But okay, so all right, so okay, so what would be some, like, on the show we like all our guests to give an inspirational and motivational message to the youth, or just all walks of life.
Absolutely. And can I share what Brave is about? What Brave stands for?
Right, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So Brave is spelled B7AVE, not BRAVE.
Mm-hmm.
Brave represents boundless, redeemed, anointed, victorious, and empowered. Because we, as professional Black women who just so happen to be single and moms, are boundless. Just think about all the things that we were able to do to get our children from point A, from the moment that you find out that you're expecting until the moment you bring them into this world, they graduate and they live life or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boundless. We have to deal with all kinds of stuff. Redeem. R7EDEEME. Redeemed. Knowing that we are favored by God and we are forgiven for all our transgressions and sins, we have to forgive ourselves too, though. God has already checked us off in the book because He already knew us from the tip of the hair on our head to the soles of our feet. He knew we were going to go through this. It was assigned to us already, right? And we have to be okay with who we are and where we've been and where we're going, and understand forgiveness is so powerful. Anointed. We're anointed for greatness. We have to have that crown on our head and we tip it a little bit and we rock it, right? Victorious. V. We are victorious in all things because we couldn't have gotten here thus far had we not received the capacity to do the things we needed to do and have these small victories along the way to get to the greater vision, the greater wins. And empowered. We have to know how to empower ourselves, and we have to know how to empower one another. And still, we have the ability to have the capacity to empower others, because we'll always and forever be empowering somebody else. But if we don't empower ourselves, we have nothing left and nothing to give to anybody else that will make a difference. So that's what brave means and what brave stands for. And it's a powerful call to action, and it's a guided set of principles for Black professional single mothers, centering around resilience, spiritual grounding, and purposeful living. So that is what that's all about. That is what it means. That is the foundation of it. So I apologize. Can you ask me your latter question as well?
It's all right. I just first off want to say that's an amazing acronym, and I want to give you all your flowers, all your praises, and I appreciate you. Me myself personally, I wanted to get you on the show to showcase this because, like, on this platform, we have real conversations from all perspectives of life, and I just feel like your story is definitely needed in times like these. You know, some black women might feel like you said, they got to be strong, or they might just feel like it isn't any resources. So I'm just happy to bring you on and tell your story and tell the people like how to reach out and letting the women know like you can overcome anything and anything is possible. But back to the question. So
Thank you
we
so
like to you welcome, you welcome. We like to give inspirational and motivational messages throughout the programming. So I just want you to like speak to the youth or the woman that's 31 or 19, 21, 25, 41,
much.
and they are not expected, but they pretty much knowing that the child's father not going to be there, and they pretty much figuring out like I'm gonna be a single mom. What would your advice be, and what would your encouraging words be to that person?
Okay, thank you for that question. So first, I want to start off by saying, sis, don't blame them. Don't be mad at your baby daddy, at the one who planted the seed, who you laid down with, who you had feelings for in that moment. Don't be mad at him. Don't blame him. Understand that sometimes people make decisions not realizing the sacrifice and the consequences that they are going to receive as a result of not doing what is necessary, required, or expected. I could blame my child's father for everything, but what would that serve me? What would that serve him? He made the decisions that he made, right? And he missed out on every opportunity to see his son shine and participate in activities and events, and his first step and his first words and his graduations and his acknowledgments and certificates. And guess what, sis? You were there for those moments. And so your child is going to develop that relationship with you. And whatever that relationship is with you, it is not your responsibility to punish his dad or say negative things to that child to make that child feel some kind of way toward the opposite parent. Because based on what he does or does not do for your child, that child has already begun to sense and develop and understand and have a relationship or not have a relationship with that father at the level they're going to have it. It is your responsibility to be the best mom that you can be, to forgive. And it's hard, girl. It's hard to forgive sometimes, but you have to constantly forgive every day until you can get to the point where you are at peace and you can sleep at night knowing that you're doing everything that you can to be that mom. It's not your job to be both mommy and daddy. It's your job to be responsible and to tell the truth to your child. And it's not saying to be negative and busting his balls, baby girl. It's simply saying, hold your head up and put your crown on and walk with integrity. And know if you need to lean on somebody, if you need to vent, if you need to cry about it, it is okay. That is why I'm creating Brave. That is why Brave has been created. That is why I'm wanting to build this community of women to show each other love and support. And when you're having those moments that you can log in or pick up a phone and call somebody and say, hey, sis, I'm having a moment. But I want you to understand the best thing that you can do for both you and your child is to get yourself debt free, to put yourself in a financial position to where you're creating legacy for you and your child, to where you can walk around with your head up and not have to depend on anybody, but depend on them when you choose to, not to where it's a requirement. You don't have to be stuck on welfare or stuck on government assistance and all that. Get up out of that. Fight for you. Fight for you. Because every single time that you fight for you, you are fighting for your children or your child. Every single time you get up and you put your feet on the ground and you pray to God and ask the Holy Spirit to stand with you, walk with you, and carry you, you are making a difference, not just for yourself, but your family. And your children are seeing that, and your family are seeing that. And it's okay if people don't see you for who you are right now, but you keep fighting to be better and to be stronger, because everybody's not supposed to come along with you. But you're also teaching your children that their life does not have to be your life, that their life is going to be better, that they don't have to worry about the hardships and the sacrifice and everything. But when they come up against it, they would have seen you strong and powerful, brave and boundless and bold and victorious and overcoming the challenges, because there will be many challenges to come. And I just want you to know that you are loved, you are supported, you are appreciated, you are heard, you are seen, and you are acknowledged. And I love you. If nobody else tells you that, and I don't even have to know you, but I understand your walk and I'm here for it.
Okay, we're gonna end on that. So I'm about to give you the floor. I just want you to let the people know where to find you on your social medias and emails, and we can end it like that. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy and all your knowledge that you share with us today. So you can just let the people know where to find you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Smooth. I appreciate you, sir. So again, my name is Nakia Nicole Franklin. I am Brown founder, CEO of Brave Manifestations LLC, B7AVE. You can find me on TikTok. I'm on there sometimes. You can find me on Facebook, and I have the Brave community on Facebook as well. You can find me under my name, Nakia N Franklin, on all social media platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn as well. Connect with me. I You can reach me also by texting 713-598-3740 or 346. That's why I don't get that number out, because I don't remember it all the time. But text me, um, reach out to me on social media, message me, send me a personal message. And also my email is at.inc.c@gmail.com. Again, that's at.inc.c@gmail.com. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Thank you again, Mr. Smooth.
All right, appreciate you. Till next time, you welcome to come back on the show anytime. I
Thank
thank
you.
you, and I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right, there y'all have it. Another good episode. Real conversations. We appreciate Miss Franklin for coming through, stopping by, spreading some knowledge, letting y'all know where to find her. And all her social medias will be in the description as well. So we appreciate y'all. Make sure to share, and subscribe. Follow us on all audio platforms as well as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Until next time, we'll see y'all, man. It's been a good show. Much love. We love y'all.